Dragon Ball Super Listen to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. I mean, really, basically, wherever you want to listen, whatever's more convenient for you guys. It helps if you rate and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever you listen. If you want to leave us a review, helps people find the show. Today, my brother Brandon is back. First time since New Year's, man. I haven't talked to you in a bit.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Woo.
Well, I've been meaning to do a manga chapter podcast for chapter 56 of Dragon Ball Super. It's a really fun chapter, and it focuses mostly on everybody who's not Goku and Vegeta, which is a real nice change of pace.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to chit-chat a little bit about that with you. Me and you just did a very experimental video. It sounded worse than I meant it, but a video of me going through the manga chapter with you. And I don't know, it maybe came out okay. We'll see, I guess. Might be up on the Patreon. We'll see how it goes. We got the camera equipment working this week, and we're fucking around with a couple of different things. But before we get to manga chapter 56, how have you been?
Good. I've been pretty busy with some stuff at work, some big projects going on.
At the library.
At the library.
At the library.
Been gigging with the band a little bit, and
do you get mad when people say library?
No, it's cool. They
I
can't pronounce the other word anyway, so they can't pronounce Athenaeum. So
yeah, I can barely fucking pronounce that.
Athenium, so yeah. It's all good.
And then the band's going well as well.
Yeah.
You just had a gig last night.
Had a gig last night, another gig Saturday. So
one of these days I'll make it out. That's the last time I saw you was New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Me and you did an acoustic gig together.
Yeah. Locals.
Shout out locals.
Woo. Two locations now.
Tiverton, Rhode Island. Where you at, baby? Fall River, South End. Stand up. I'll see you at locals very soon. Anyway, good, man. Glad things are going well.
Yeah.
I feel like the last time we caught up about you in general, it was not very positive news in terms of your health.
Yeah. I mean, I'm doing all right.
Yeah. Double thumbs up.
Yeah.
Videos to prove it.
I'm still here.
Woo. So, manga chapter 56, Moro arc, we're hip deep. Vegeta's out there training to try to learn some moves from the Yardrat people.
The Yardrat people. Yeah.
I don't know how to properly pluralize that, but either way, Vegeta's trying to learn some kind of move. Goku is very lost trying to get back to Earth, following his training with Miras. And we get basically an entire chapter of people just defending things on Earth.
Like the good old days, the Z-Fighter days.
We get everybody, man.
Yeah.
We get Jocko the Galactic Patrolman.
Hot.
Krillin. Master Roshi. Tien Shinhan. Chaozu. Yamcha. And then, of course, Gohan and Piccolo. They're like the two aces among the group.
The co-captains.
Yeah. But I like that Chaozu's getting his hands dirty.
Yeah.
We don't really get to see him or Tien really do anything, but we see Krillin fuck up some things a little bit with that bear-looking dude.
I think Chaozu's last combat was what, Cell Saga?
Did he have any combat in the Cell Saga? I'm pretty sure he did.
Can't
Well,
remember.
against the Cell Jr. maybe?
Yeah, against Cell Jr. if anything.
And I'm honestly not even 100% if he was there.
So it might have been the Saiyan Saga.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'm going to sound like a real dickhead if he's in the Cell games and I don't remember. But either way, I like that. Everybody gets I mean, obviously the main focal point of this chapter is the 7-3 versus Piccolo and Gohan fight. And 7-3 obviously has the power of Moro on tap still, but he is very quick to get behind Piccolo and Gohan in the very beginning part of their battle and steal their new upgraded powers. You know, if you guys did any upgrades in your training, it's all for naught now.
Yeah, any new techniques is now mine.
Yep. And I'm already a powerful motherfucker, so thanks for the buff, basically. And I just like the fact that ultimately the fight that goes down, Gohan and Piccolo turn the tables. I mean, Toyotaro is so evidently a fan of Gohan.
Yeah.
And
which nothing wrong with.
When he puts out like the multiple blasts, you know, I'm going to feel like such an asshole. Hellzone grenade. Yeah. Hellzone grenade.
I think so, yeah.
He puts out the multiple blasts. Gohan just navigates through it up towards and bounces off all of the blasts to deliver the final blow. He ends up making that shield, to block the hit for Piccolo. Piccolo puts the Makengo Senpo right through it. And then they have the moment where they do the Masenko Makengo Senpo, or the demon flash of light or
death.
Or death. It's so, so cool. This chapter is definitely all about not only Gohan, but Gohan and Piccolo, but probably a little bit more Gohan than Piccolo.
Yeah.
But Yamcha has a nice moment as well. Gets to proclaim himself as one of the 3 strongest Earthlings. So I got to presume that means he's stronger than Master Roshi.
Maybe in his own mind.
In the top 3 in Yamcha's mind, I feel like it's Krillin, Yamcha, Tien Shinhan, and any one of the 3 of them could be at the top of the mark at any given time.
Yeah. Mostly between Tien and Krillin, I'd say.
I would say that too.
Yeah.
But, puts himself in that top 3 category.
Boo's still asleep.
Boo is still asleep. Mr. Satan's just happy that he's around and alive. That's pretty funny. But yeah, at the end of this chapter, the androids show up. They're going to be key in defeating 7-3 because they have infinite chi. They have a really cool entrance and kicking him like directly in the face.
Just when he's going to unleash like the full power of Moro.
Yeah.
They give him a nice sidekick.
Well, pal, we're going to take a gut.
And we also find out that they're being paid off by Capsule Corps to defeat this threat.
Of course, man. 10 million zenny to be exact.
Yeah.
Because Android 18 don't come out the house for free.
What does she do with all that money?
Spends it on nice clothes, fine leather goods.
Her pink jumpsuits.
Definitely your pink jumpsuits. Those things are made of probably the finest materials. No joke on that. So, androids show up. They more or less overcome 7-3. We know that Moro's on the way. He's definitely headed to Earth right now because his little underling minion gives him a report like, oh man, bunch of strong fighters on Earth. Weird. I think it's cool to see like all of the different officers of the Galactic Patrol like back up.
Now he's what, a planet destroyer?
Moro, he's a world eater.
World eater.
He's like the Dragon Ball Z version of Galactus.
Okay.
His energy comes from the planets that he quote unquote eats.
He
sucks the energy of them.
Yeah.
So he's obviously got his sights set on Earth, and the fact that Earth has such strong warriors on it further backs up the fact that it's such a strong planet that he wants to feast on, basically. So he's on the way. Goku's lost. Vegeta hasn't learned his technique yet, but man, this moral arc seems like it's entering the 3rd act for sure.
I was gonna say this has been going on for a while now.
Probably at least the last 6 months. I couldn't tell you offhand the first chapter of the Moro arc, but I want to say it was at around September. I could be wrong. It could have been even earlier than that. It could have been in the summer.
It was what, Tournament of Power before that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And the Tournament of Power arc ends in the same chapter that the Moro arc begins. Yeah, they really nerfed the end of the Tournament of Power in the manga.
Yeah.
So now that we've got a full arc in terms of runway, and we do have the Broly movie as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, the question looms large. When's the motherfucking TV show coming back?
Right? Will somebody like Moro eventually be canon in like Kakarot or something?
Oh, I don't know, man. I have been playing a little bit of DBZ Kakarot.
Yeah.
Although I'm pretty sure DBZ Kakarot is just going to stick to Dragon Ball Z.
Just Dragon Ball Z. No
Maybe they'll
Super.
release some DLC in the next year or two where it's like, here is a Super expansion.
Yeah.
Here's a GT expansion or something like that. A couple of years from now, maybe we'll already have the anime back, and maybe Moro will be a DLC piece. Who knows? In the meantime, though, it's just Dragon Ball Z. Those 4 main arcs in terms of Kakarot. But yeah, let's get the goddamn anime back. I thought it was coming back in March 2019, and then again I heard it maybe instead would come back in July of 2019.
Now we're in February of 2020.
February 2020.
Holy cow.
Summer Olympics coming up, baby.
Yeah.
July 2020.
July.
That's the bet. That's the guess. July 2020. Guess.
But I don't think that Goku's going to be a big enough character.
Motherfucker, what'd you just say?
No. Like that's going to be a platform for it.
What?
I don't know. I don't know.
Do me a favor.
Okay.
Think about all the stupid shit that just came out of your mouth,
Okay.
and then make a commitment to not spew like that again.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure.
So now that we've hinted at the toxic fandom, that is a Dragon Ball Z fandom waiting around for a new announcement for a series return. Toxic fandoms already on the topic.
Yeah.
Any Godzilla updates, Brandon?
Not officially, not anything, that really sticks out. Just fans every day kind of coming up with, what if this, what if that, what if this, what if that.
Sounds
And
like
it's
Dragon Ball.
It's like this movie's still 10 months away. And I get it. I'm not going to diss somebody because they're excited about who do you think's going to show up in this movie, or who do you think's going to win it?
Like in terms of monsters and shit.
But it's like every day, and it's just constant. And
When you got nothing else to talk about, man.
well, I just feel like it just builds up so many people's hopes and dreams, and then when it doesn't happen, you're just going to be dashed upon the rocks, and that kind of Phantom Menace. That kind of Phantom Menace syndrome, where you build it up, and then it's never going to meet your expectations.
I totally understand that.
Yeah, so I kind of just avoid Godzilla.
What's Kong versus Godzilla slated to be? November? November. Theatrical release in November.
Yeah.
Let's not fuck it up. Theatrical release, though.
Mm-hmm.
I did post pictures of it on the Instagram the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I managed to get my hands on a original theatrical release poster for Dragon Ball Z movie. Shit, is it 6 or 7? I should really know this. I believe it's movie 6.
I think so.
The Return of Kula. And I just got it back from the framers the other day. Seeing as we do have the video camera rolling, I am going to get up from my seat and show it to Brandon real quick. Show it off to the camera. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Hello, people. So I haven't even taken it out of the fucking plastic yet. But
There it is.
let me get this bitch over here. Glare's a little bit of a pain in the dick, but
Go a little forward.
like that.
Yeah, there you go.
So I haven't taken it out of the plastic yet. I got to hang it on the wall. It is likely going to replace the Boku no Hero Academia poster over there in that corner. But yeah, man, Return of fucking Kula. 1992 Shonen Jump kind of label on it, whatever. I got a pretty good deal on it. It's not in pristine condition, but the frame job this woman did.
Did you get it? Where'd you get it?
I got it done at Allerton Framing in Bristol.
No, I mean, where'd you get the poster?
Oh, I got it from some dude on eBay.
Oh, okay.
Duh. I think I bought it as a gift to myself when I got my job back, my contract back in July, August, something like that.
Okay.
So I haven't even opened it yet. The coolest thing about this is this frame is so fancy that they gave me fucking gloves.
Ooh, look at that.
To handle the fucking frame with. Look at these things.
Dang.
And there's instructions on how to clean the glass in case I got my dirty motherfucking
That's
mitts
too legit to quit.
on this UV tempered glass or whatever.
I mean, just imagine going to the theaters in the early 90s and just seeing that.
Right?
Oh shoot, a new Dragon Ball movie's coming out.
Yeah.
And Cooler's back.
Oh my god.
Oh my
I got
god.
it on my wall. So
That's wicked.
what got me to the framing shop in the first place was I bought this off of a dude on eBay,
Okay.
and I continued to follow the things that he had listed.
Yeah.
And a couple of months later, I was fucking doing some shopping, and I found a second thing.
Okay.
And eventually, my goal was the second thing would become a gift for you, Brandon.
Oh man.
And I would get it framed. So here is that thing that I finally got back from the framing shop.
Whoa. That's wicked. Thank you.
Yeah, dude. I feel like it's got all your favorite kaijus on it, right?
Yeah.
It's got Anguirus. It's got
Gigan, man. Gigan was so badass.
Yeah.
Whoa. Thank you.
So this is not a fucking original movie poster release. It's a repro.
That's cool, though.
But when your wife hit me up about fucking us throwing down for your guitar,
yeah,
I told her that I already had a gift in the works for you.
Okay.
And that she needed to let you hang it on the wall.
Okay.
So you've already got permission.
Oh, wicked.
From your wife to hang this in your house.
That's awesome, dude. Oh, man.
It comes with that permission. This poster is so dope. I thought about not even giving it to you.
All right. But that's wicked, though.
Yeah, this is yours now.
Thank you.
Don't fucking forget to take it.
Yeah, I was going to say, put it somewhere safe.
You do not get a pair of fucking sexy gloves, okay?
That's okay. No. I moved enough paintings this week at work that I can get an extra pair of gloves.
Right. So, yeah. Wow. There's your Toxic Godzilla fandom update.
Seriously, that's wicked cool.
And toxic fandoms. What are the understanding fandoms? I'm about that.
Yeah.
In case you guys haven't heard, I've been hinting at some wrestling podcast tidbits. I've talked with Brandon about it extensively earlier today. Look for that stuff in the beginning of March, I think. And if you're a fan looking forward to the Royal Rumble, you'll have an extra podcast from me to listen up. Not the Royal Rumble. I'm already fucking up with the wrestling fans. If you're a fan of wrestling and you're looking forward to WrestleMania,
okay, when's
brother,
that?
April 5th.
I figured it was in April. Yeah,
it's like the Super Bowl of wrestling, I'm told.
Yeah, it is.
If you are a wrestling fan, you will have a podcast for me and two of my other friends to look forward to.
That's got to be what, WrestleMania 35?
I honestly have no idea.
I think it's got to be close to there.
No idea. The whole fandom of wrestling. I'll tell you what, if I wasn't such a big anime fan, I don't know if it would make sense, but I went to the Royal Rumble in Houston a few weeks ago, and goddamn, man, it clicked. I totally understood what it was about, and diving headfirst into this different sort of podcast project. At worst, it'll be a different sort of podcast experience for me in terms of production, and maybe some of you Super Dope fans will listen to it.
Yeah.
At best, maybe we get some new people listening to Super Dope.
Well, like I was saying earlier, you know, some people come and go with wrestling, like I did. I haven't watched wrestling in 20 years probably, but it's still fun to kind of reminisce about some of those days and, try and figure out why I liked it.
Characters that you loved and stories that you loved and events that you loved. 100%. Brian and Pete, the two guys I'm working on it with, it's going to be like 50-50, 60-40 essay, like written out by me, and then the other part of it's going to be very conversational with those two guys providing like details around certain things we're talking about.
Sure.
I'm excited for it, man.
Sure.
It's going to be a little bit of a challenge, and I'm going to have to work myself to death over the month of February, but I feel like it'll be worth it, and I'll definitely have learned something.
Well, and I think it's good in many ways, too, that wrestling in the last 25 years especially has been so well documented in terms of like biographies, like, what VH1 was for Behind the Music. There's a handful still of like Behind the Mask, if you want to call it,
Beyond the mat.
Beyond the mat. Yeah.
One step beyond.
Yeah.
One step beyond.
It's a great song.
So hopefully I will stick to my guns on that and get that stuff done. But here's the thing. Me and Brandon realized coming into this recording session today, and I figured it would be a nice, easy way to round it out. We talked a little bit of Dragon Ball, Godzilla super briefly. This is kind of a quicker pod today because I have got a lot on my plate. So back off! Anyway, you and I, the last time we did a pod was it New Year's Eve? It was me.
I think it was New Year's Eve. It was like the end of the year show.
It was me, you, Jimmy, Mike Norman, Feds, maybe. Was Minnie Van Dan here? He might have not been here.
No, I think Jimmy, Mike, and Feds and I.
Yeah. I gotta get Mike Norm over here soon. I miss that fucking guy. If you're listening, Mike, I miss you. Prick. Heard you guys got a PS4. And that you leave the house even less than you did before now.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Here's the thing, like Amber plays whatever game they're playing, but like Mike does like the game maintenance and management for her, like all the number stuff. Whatever. I'm not gonna get into it right now.
Okay.
It's weird on how they fucking play PS4 games.
Yeah, that sounds complicated.
It is. It sounds that way anyway. Point is, miss you, Mike. We haven't had an opportunity to talk about Star Wars.
No.
We had both seen it at that point, but not everybody in the room had yet. So we shut up about it at that point in time. So if you haven't seen Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker yet, full spoilers for the duration of the podcast, okay? So, Brandon, candidly, like it, love it, hate it, what'd you think? Go.
I liked it into loving it. I would say this is going to be perhaps controversial, but it reminded me of the first Star Wars, A New Hope, in that it was just kind of a fun, crazy adventure. Now, stepping back from that, very heavy on the crazy. There was, a bowl full of ideas, not a handful, but a bowl full of ideas just thrown at the wall, I think, to see what sticks for ideas. There's some great moments, and the fact that you actually have all three main characters actually working together for once.
Yeah, nice change of pace in that, huh?
Yeah, that provides a great fun adventure and kind of, the trio working together, all for one for all. But yeah, there's some kind of whacked out stuff at times.
Well, I feel like the obvious thing to say about this trilogy is that it suffers from not having been planned out long term and left to the devices of, at the time when it was announced and decided, 3 individual directors.
Yeah.
And it ends up being JJ 1, Ryan Johnson 2, JJ 3.
Who was supposed to be 3?
I forget. Colin Trevorrow, I believe is the name. And they released pieces of his script after The Rise of Skywalker came out. And I've got friends who think that Trevorrow script would be one of the greatest, most profound ideas of cinema ever.
I've seen the panels, the artistic panels.
Yeah.
There's some crazy shit in that too.
There's some super crazy far out shit in that.
Yeah.
For you guys to say that the Colin Trevorrow was going to be a better movie, you're straight up lying to yourself. Some of the stuff that dude, like all like the force, spirit, heaven stuff that they talk about, like it's stuff that's so fucking far-fetched that it probably would have fit in well with some of the things in Rise of Skywalker.
General Hux killing himself?
Dude, talk about a fucking non-consequential. The whole time I'm like, oh, there's a mole? Oh, I wonder who it is. And then it's Hux, and it's like, why'd you do it? And he's like, fuck Kylo Ren. I'm like, that's the whole reason I've had to deal with you for 2 whole movies. To have you do this turn, and the whole motivation for the turn is fuck Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Cool. Great story. Really appreciated your story arc. I'm glad I had to fucking deal with your ginger ass last 2 movies.
I think the other thing too is if I were to fall into the spell that the Trevorrow version, based on the panels alone, was going to be better, then I'm going to give myself something I can never attain.
What's that?
Well, that would be like to get the Trevorrow version.
Oh.
That it would just build up that kind of Star Wars is ruined because this was the version that was better and I'll never get to see it. Like, no, I'm not going to. I respect and enjoy The Rise of Skywalker for what it's worth. And, I'm not going to dwell on the what ifs.
A lot of crazy ideas, man.
Yeah.
So obviously not having the benefit or the foresight of one person planning all 3 acts of the trilogy.
I get that. I respect that.
This movie very evidently suffers from JJ having to undo much of the Last Jedi.
And you can clearly see that. I mean, what is it? Somebody pointed out that Rose's
Oh, poor
screen
Rose
time.
Tico.
She got like what, 1:48 or something like that.
So I heard an explanation as to why Rose Tico got so boned.
Really?
And a lot of it allegedly. I think that it's obviously backlash and a quote unquote correction, because Rose Tico wasn't an awful character
No.
in that movie, but that whole casino piece of that story,
That was stretched.
that movie was not a good movie. I know there's a lot of people out there who like The Last Jedi. It's a super polarizing movie. Not a very good movie. I'm sorry.
I liked it, but
So Rose Tico in that circumstance was okay. The excuse for her not being, again, I think it's a correction of people didn't like the character.
oh yeah, clearly.
They're catering to a super fucking vocal
Clearly.
Twitter audience of
Clearly.
anti-SJW soy boy cucks.
Whatever, yeah.
Anti that, though. And they took her out. But the explanation I heard was a lot of Rose Tico's scenes revolved around trying to use recycled footage of Carrie Fisher.
Yes.
And she was like sort of an anchor to some extent to help make the footage that they have work. And eventually, a lot of those scenes ended up on the cutting room floor. Anyway.
Yeah, I can see that.
So she got the bone. I don't like that. Not only did she get the bone, but they so evidently tried to replace her with a fucking black girlfriend for Finn.
Yeah.
Who was also
Lando
a runaway
Calrissian's
stormtrooper.
daughter.
And then they try to tie it into Lando because obviously the idea of Finn being a thing.
Yeah.
And everyone made, oh, is he related to Lando? There's only one black family in the universe. Like that whole joke.
I believe they confirmed it's Lando's daughter,
They
too.
did.
Yeah.
They did. And when I watched it, I pieced that together immediately. I'm like, really? So the second black person, we meet Lando. He's the first black person in the galaxy.
Yeah.
Then Finn. Everyone makes a joke. Are they related? Ha ha ha. No, they're not. Then we meet a third black person, Finn's girlfriend.
Are they related?
Are any of the three of them related? Yeah, of course she's related to Lando. But when I watched it, I understood the implication, the context, I guess.
Yeah.
When my dad watched it, he was like, yo, that's just Lando trying to play his old sly dog moves.
Right.
I didn't get that vibe at all.
No, I got it more as, oh, she's his daughter.
But if people did get that vibe, that's creepy.
I know a few people that got that vibe, yeah.
So we've talked about some of the minor-ish gripes of Rise of Skywalker, for sure. Way to be racist, Disney. But they, I don't know, like, were you surprised that she was a Palpatine? That was a heavy breathe, man. You better have some fucking thoughtful pieces after that breathe.
I guess I was, because I was like, all right, how are they going to piece this shit together? Like, come on. I thought it was a bit of a stretch.
Did you?
A little bit, yeah.
Does it bother you that Sheev Palpatine fucks?
I didn't think of it that way. I thought he just cloned himself.
Oh, you mean the way in which he made Anakin and just kind of did a immaculate conception with Shmi Skywalker back in the day to make Anakin?
Yeah.
And then Anakin is the grandfather of Ben Solo, who eventually becomes Kylo Ren.
But like, I
so he's
don't
kind
know.
of like the great grandfather of Kylo Ren. And then Kylo Ren makes out with Rey.
Why did he produce a son? And B, why didn't he just, if he thought this was going to be dangerous, why didn't he just, just kill it?
Kill what? Kill Rey?
His son.
Oh, I don't think he expected the son to be dangerous. He expected Rey to be powerful and to keep her around so that eventually he could try to, convert her over to the dark side of the Force.
There's so many questions like, did his kid know that he was Palpatine's son? And you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
There's too much to think about to you know what I mean?
She fucks though.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah.
So, in all seriousness, me, and your wife Kelly went to watch it together. When did we go? Like the day after Christmas, or
what? Force Awakens?
Yeah. No. For the Rise of
Rise of Skywalker. Yeah.
When did we go? Just after Christmas?
Like the Friday it came out.
So
December 21st. December 22nd.
There are two scenes in particular that. And I only mentioned this to you specifically because you were sitting next to me in the theater.
Yeah.
Where I legitimately saw what happened on the screen.
And you laughed, yeah.
I busted out loud.
Yeah.
And I was like one of the only people reacting to it at all.
One was what I think when he unleashes his electrical powers on the whole fleet.
Oh my God. Yeah. All right. Never mind. 3 times then. Yep. 3.
I remember that one.
The 2 times that I remember distinctly in my brain, when Kylo and Rey, when they kiss.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, yo, you've got to be kidding me, dude.
Yeah,
Did you really just try to fucking work? Did you just really try to strong arm that into this whole thing?
Yeah.
Like, Kylo Ren hasn't been an abusive asshole piece of shit to this girl the whole time. This is really driving home the best of fucking messages in terms of Rey wanting to make out with this dude. All right. I literally laughed out loud when they made out. The other part before the electrocution of an entire fucking Starfleet of spaceships. The other one was the Knights of Ren.
Yeah.
Never get a real
story arc.
But
they're covering that, I believe, in the comic book series.
That's fine. Okay, I'm glad that you guys have the mediums of comic books and novelizations to be able to build out and fill in the blanks and some of the lore. If you make a decent enough fucking movie, you could probably fit in some kind of explanation as to why the Knights of Ren are consequential. The Knights of Ren in this movie are equated to like legitimately like in sync boy band poses.
Yeah.
Like hanging out in a goddamn desert, standing on some mountains. They got their axes out and shit. And there's like some fucking swooshy shots of the fucking.
Yeah.
One of those shots of them just posing there in a goddamn desert. I busted out loud laughing.
Yeah. No, I get that.
And then the third part that you reminded me of was they need the resistant ships to be able to battle all of these mini they're Star Destroyers that have the capacity to destroy a planet like a Death Star does.
Yeah, they have like what would in the EU the equivalent of a Darksaber.
There you go. Wow. Good pull.
Yeah.
Brandon's legit. If we do an understanding fandom podcast for Star Wars, sorry, bud, you're in.
Yeah, for sure.
So, Lando and Chewie go off and rally up like a few hundred ships at least, maybe even way more than
1,000,
that.
yeah.
They go rally up 1,000 ships.
Yeah.
Like even if they've got the
like
universes,
the Blues Brothers.
Yeah, even if they've got the best universe, the best of universes CB radio or something to like hit everybody up at the same time. Like they don't have much time to scramble all that kind of support, and they do it miraculously. And then
everyone hits right on time.
She fucking Palpatine is like watching these 2 young Jedi try to band together to defeat him. The goddamn roof of the place he's in parts like the motherfucking Metrodome.
Cowboy Stadium.
Yeah, Cowboy Stadium, whatever. And he just shoots up a fucking lightning blast and hits all of the. And I'm like, dude, if you can do that. And you're real worried about getting destroyed right now by these two
kids, yeah.
Just shoot that same laser beam that you used to hit 1,000 fucking spaceships just now, all at once. Shoot it at these 2 little asshole kids. Boom.
Yeah.
Game over.
Yeah. But it's like a Greek tragedy. Of course, it's not going to, because good has to trump hate.
Listen, of all the things that we've talked about and nitpicked to this point, my biggest complaint about this movie. And this saga, I guess, in particular, because the way that it wraps it up, it very much picks up on a lot of threads that were started, understandably, in JJ's first movie in the series, Force Awakens. My biggest beef with the movie is that the movie's never going to get a fair shake because it's wrapping up not only a trilogy, but a trilogy of 3 trilogies.
Well, and also a controversial trilogy.
That too. But this trilogy went out of its way, I feel, almost as like, I don't know, it was necessary for them to do it in terms of telling the story at the end here. They take a big old piss all over everything and anything that Anakin Skywalker / Darth Vader has accomplished in the first 6 movies of the series. Everything that Darth Vader did, Anakin Skywalker did, however you want to look at it, is basically inconsequential due to the fact that eventually Return of the Jedi, he sacrifices it all to be able to defeat the Emperor.
Yeah.
And Emperor's back in this movie. Out of nowhere, he was Snoke. He was Vader's voice.
Yeah.
He was everything the whole time. Okay, we're just going to suspend disbelief to fucking have that work for us. But
Anakin Skywalker never truly brought the balance to the Force.
Yeah. So he was never the guy. So, have you watched Mandalorian?
Yes.
So, if you haven't watched Mandalorian, guys, spoilers. Okay, give you a second. But what I think is interesting, somebody pointed it out on Twitter not too long ago. The prophecy, the one who's meant to bring balance to the Force.
Yeah.
Everyone thought it was Anakin Skywalker,
Yeah.
born in that year, right? Do you know who else was born the same year as Anakin Skywalker?
Was it the child?
The child, Baby Yoda himself, is also, he's 50 years old in The Mandalorian.
Which is 5 years after Endor.
Which is 5 years after, or I don't know if it's 5. It could be 5. It's definitely after Endor.
Yeah.
And prior to Episode 7.
Yes.
So the child is the same age as Darth Vader.
And I think
is he the one who's meant to bring balance to the Force?
I think by Force Awakens, at least, the child's in his 80s.
Yeah, that probably sounds about right.
Yeah.
But probably still not enough to be doing what Yoda would do in terms of serving on the Jedi Council or, fighting people or whatever.
Yeah, Yoda's something
useful.
like 700-something years old by then.
Exactly. I mean, 900 years old, he dies, and you see what, like the previous 40 to 50 years leading up to his death?
Yeah.
Episodes 1 through 6.
Yeah.
So if they do go this route where I'm sitting, the reason I bring up The Mandalorian and all that stuff is because I'm sitting here bitching about how they've pissed all over Anakin Skywalker's legacy and what he's supposed to mean to Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because, he's basically Jesus. We talked about it. Immaculate Conception, made by the Force and Shmi Skywalker. Whether you want to say it's the Force or Sheev Palpatine or whatever, Anakin is very much supposed to be held up or portrayed as Jesus.
Yeah.
In the first 6 movies, at least. And then he fucking has his fall, and then he rises back up, and he overcomes, and he fucking brings balance to the Force by destroying the Emperor.
Redeems himself. Yeah.
Never mind, the Emperor is still alive. Everything Anakin Skywalker did is not a big deal. So I'm bitching about that, okay?
No, I get it, yeah.
What if they make some Star Wars movies in like 5 years, 10 years?
We know that
take place after Episode 9.
There's another trilogy.
And
supposedly by Rian Johnson, right?
Who gives a shit? I fucking hope not, because fuck that guy.
Okay.
Seriously, fuck Rian Johnson.
Okay.
And I understand that Knives Out is an awesome movie, and they're going to make a sequel, and that dude went into Star Wars very much saying, you know what, I understand what Star Wars is all about, and I'm about to buck the trend. And tell you, dude, he showed a lot more dissent than he fucking made fans. And the fans that he made are not fucking fans that are, what's the word, particularly respected, maybe?
Yeah.
All right, now that I'm done talking shit on Rian Johnson, my point is, what if we see a Baby Yoda fucking trilogy movie set in a few years?
That opens up a whole nother question.
He's the one who brings balance to the Force.
Do we know if Jon Favreau knows what's going on?
Jon Favreau should be Kevin Feige is, I guess, going to be the dude to oversee the next Star Wars movies.
Oh, Favreau's not?
Well, Favreau is very much him and Dave Filoni.
I know Dave
are
Filoni,
very much in the process of doing this TV bit, and I'm sure that they'll factor into the movies eventually. But yeah, all rumors, I don't think there's been an official announcement, but all the rumors start Kevin Feige to be the guy to oversee the next. Kathleen Kennedy is the fuck out, and Feige is
to oversee Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought you meant like another series.
Oh, another series of movies, but yeah. And he's going to be Kathleen Kennedy now.
Okay.
In terms of her creative input. And I don't know if she's going to leave the company at all.
Okay.
But, like, she's not going to have that hands-on approach to the movies.
Yeah, because she stayed on after George Lucas.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
so
we'll see what happens. I mean,
hopefully it's
Obi-Wan Kenobi's been pushed back, apparently.
Yeah, and I heard that it's mainly because they're working on getting the script just right. There's no kinds of bullshit or anything. But I guess, much like in the Dragon Ball world, you've got dickheads on YouTube trying to make a story out of everything that isn't a story.
Oh, of course. Of course. They hear
people do
one
the same
little
thing in
crumb
Star
of
Wars
information.
World. Yeah, and it's especially easy with Kathleen Kennedy in charge for them to make anti-SJW soy boy cuck videos. So
crumb, I'm hungry.
Word bird. Well, that is going to do it for Dragon Ball Super Dope. We're hoping that you enjoyed our manga review, some Skywalker talk, Godzilla. Hope you like your fucking poster.
Wait, 2 greatest things about Rise of Skywalker, though.
What?
Wedge Antilles.
Oh.
And Babu Frick, but Wedge
Babu
Antilles.
Frick was great. You're right. We did not talk about it too in depth. I feel like we could probably do like a fucking 2-hour-long podcast.
Yeah, no.
But I would need to see it again. I only saw it the one time. Did you go back and see it again?
I saw it 48 hours later, yeah.
Did you? I haven't gone back and seen it since.
I went with Colin.
But when the Wedge Antilles moment happened, I've never seen you react like that.
Dude.
You physically jumped up out of your seat.
That was the greatest moment ever.
Oh my. And I knew when I heard his voice, I knew exactly who it was.
And I just got the new Black Series Wedge Antilles figure, too.
And then he comes on screen and you jump up out of your chair. And your wife looked over at you like you were having a heart attack or something. And
she was like, who's
what?
that? And I was like, I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
Don't take this away from me, woman.
Yeah, don't ruin me. Don't ruin this moment.
Well, maybe one day we can do a more in-depth dive on the Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, I just, that was like, even if the movie was the worst thing ever to happen, I couldn't wait to see Wedge back on the screen.
It was entertaining, but
yeah, I had fun.
Yeah, it was a fun movie. It was entertaining, but overall, I feel like they could have. I would have rather them delay the movie 6 months and take their time to get it right. That's just me.
And no matter what was going to happen, people weren't going to be satisfied.
No, of course not.
You know, I had a great time. Like I said, it brought me back to seeing the original Star Wars for the first time because it was kind of so exotic and adventurous. And there was a little bit of tragedy. It wasn't trying to be like Empire Strikes Back where it was like, you know, the dark times. It was kind of being...
For the Empire.
Yeah. This was the resolution to the tragedy.
Well, maybe we can talk about it a little bit more in depth. You're not in on the My Hero train, but
no, I'm sorry.
April's coming soon, man. This season 4 is going to be up, and we're going to need something new to talk about.
All right.
I'm seriously very heavily considering Spider-Man.
That's cool to me. I've never seen it before, so that's going to be a trip.
But
I've heard it's legendary status of like it helped create like.
It's the
Super
reason.
Sentai
It's the
Rangers.
reason that Power Rangers have Megazords.
Yeah,
is this series, and I'm more than happy to give you a history lesson about that shit.
Yeah,
but I don't know. We're open to suggestions if we don't get anything better than Spider-Man. What's cool about Spider-Man is every episode is on YouTube.
Yeah.
So if you guys worry that you can't follow along with us because you've got no idea as to how to watch the episodes, links are very, very findable.
We could do the joy of painting.
Bob Ross?
Yeah.
That sounds terrible. But if you got any other suggestions,
look at that technique.
Let us know. You can hit us up on Instagram at DBSuperDope. Lots of Instagram traffic this week. Paid Instagram promotions are worth it. Also, Twitter at DBSuperDope, the number 1. We don't do Facebook, although I think we do have a Facebook now.
Okay.
Only so that way I could have coordinated the Instagram promotions. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify. If you can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, that is really helpful. Helps other people find the podcast. Obviously, you giving us the good word makes other people more inclined to check us out. So that helps. We've got a lot of new listeners over the last couple of months.
Welcome.
For real. We super, super appreciate you guys checking us out and sticking with us and listening to all of the old episodes, which is phenomenal to me. We're fast approaching on 200 episodes, Brandon.
I was gonna say we've got to be up there.
Yeah, we're getting close, man.
Wow.
It'll happen this year. If my calculations are correct, we will probably hit it at some point around July or August.
Okay.
So right around our anniversary time.
What are we at, like
August.
164, 170?
I think we're around the 170 mark right now.
Okay.
So we'll see where it goes. Probably even sooner. Maybe it's closer to my birthday. Maybe closer to June.
Maybe June, yeah.
Whatever. Leave us a review. Helps us out. You can also leave us a voicemail, 401-213-9596. 401-213-9596. You can do that. That helps. We'll play your voicemail on the show. You got anything else you want to say before we wrap it up here?
I think that's it.
Cool. If you want to check out an uncut version, maybe a version that has video. Not that there's a lot to look at, but I'll look at the camera sometimes. And Brandon's got these mutton chops going. Got a good shot on the mutton chops. Oh, look at those fucking things. Get the goddamn mic out the... Oh, so good. So good, those mutton chops. All right, we appreciate you guys. Patreon.com/Dragon Ball Super Dope if you want to see the mutton chops. And
gotta pay to play.
Gotta pay to play, baby. Gotta pay to play. You gotta pay to play. You don't gotta sign up and immediately cancel your fucking membership afterwards. How's the show end?
I don't know. Sorry.
Cause this is Dragon Ball Super. The Brandon mutton chops are looking great. I said Brandon mutton chops are looking great.